Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of All Queued Up, the review podcast tied to streaming services like Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, etc., etc. I'm your host, Greg Dietz, and with me always is Maya Dunn Fisher. How's your week been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Finished up for the time being Tales of Symphonia Remastered. There's a frustrating treasure chest that I can't seem to find, and I've even used guides and gone through step by step by step by step by step, found everything on it, and it's still saying I'm missing one fucking chest in the game. And I'm like, you know what? I've been trying that for a week and a half. I'm putting it down for a while, and I'm going to replay Jedi Fallen Order since I just got Jedi Survivor Friday. And over the weekend, well, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and finished it up last night. So over 4 days, I played through Jedi Fallen Order again. And then I started Jedi Survivor early this morning, around 6:30 this morning, and played for a few hours, took a break for a few hours, and played for, when you messaged me and said, hey, I got some errands to do, and then we'll record. And I was like, all right. So I played from then until, about 3 hours or so. So, enjoying that, having fun. Got laser hair removal tomorrow. Got a doctor's appointment Monday. And got an eye doctor's appointment fucking Tuesday. I haven't been to the eye doctor in about 4 years. I'm due for a checkup. Madison's fucking turning 16 Sunday. So that's insane. So just, dealing with those things and appointments and trying to find a new place to live, and the search has been fruitless thus far. Not having much hope right now. But yeah, it sucks when your rent jumps up 40%. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, first world problems, all of it. It could be a lot worse. I could lose a limb or something. Oh wait. Fuck, where'd that go? Anyway, no, I'm good though. I'm good. Plan on going and visiting a friend tomorrow after laser hair removal, so but hopefully we'll be able to go see Guardians 3 this weekend.
Yeah, I got my ticket for Thursday.
Well, I was trying to get my laser hair removal appointment switched from tomorrow to Friday, and they didn't have anything available at all. And I was like, damn, if I could get it moved to early Friday and then go to the movies afterwards, that would be great. But no. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know about making a 2-hour drive and then a 2-hour drive home and then the next day doing it again. It's just a lot of driving. One of the drawbacks of living in a tiny fucking town that's becoming gentrified as we speak.
The place in Texas, I looked up, actually made my dad laugh the other day because I said, he goes, have you looked at like what's around where we live? And I was like, honestly, the three things I looked up were grocery stores. What was the other thing I looked up? Fuck, what was it? Oh, dialysis clinics, like the DaVita centers, like how far they are from the house.
Mm-hmm.
And theaters. And he was like, theaters? And I was like, I got to see my fucking movies. There's one that's about 20 minutes away, so not too bad.
No, that's not horrible at all.
No.
I mean, we got one that's a half an hour drive from here, but it's just a piece of shit. The sad thing is, it was built in the mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s, but it's just an absolute piece of fucking rundown shit now. Just This fucking
Yeah.
owner, I've told you about him. The fucking owner barely fucking puts any money towards the upkeep into that place. And anyway, fuck that. I'm not here to talk about that scumbag. So anyway, how was your week? How you been doing?
Stressful, tiring, exhausting, all the above. As
Yeah.
as as you know, I've been doing the at-home dialysis clinic, or not clinic, but classes. Because this move to Texas is happening, I want to make sure that my dad can get his dialysis treatment, so I have to go through these classes. The issue at hand is that I don't get a day off. I literally have to, if I'm not going to the dialysis classes, I'm going to work. And I think it all came to a head last night when I had a little bit of a mental breakdown because I haven't had time to recharge. I haven't had time to myself. It's just been too much, back to back to back to back to back. And it wasn't fun. Like Tuesday nights is game nights with a couple of my friends, and in the middle of that, I had the breakdown, and it took them a while to realize what was happening. But then again, I'm trying to hide it as best I can. So either that means they're really bad at noticing, or I'm really good at hiding it. One of the two,
or a combination of both.
Yeah, low column A, low column B. But I'm feeling okay now. It's definitely on that ballpark of like, if I said this to my earlier, I was like, if I get my shirt caught on the fucking door handle, I might lose it. But
You know how you solve that?
what?
Don't wear shirts.
You know what? It's a fucking great call. Other than that, on a more positive side, I what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about the dialysis class. So that is going really well. One of the crazier things about dialysis class is that it's the amount of work you have to do. I don't think people know how like labor intensive this shit is. It's insane. I'll give you an example. Oh, stretching, sorry. Oh shit, out of nowhere. So when you start with this, you have to, here's every step in the most base form that I can give it to you, okay?
Okay.
So you start off, you have to wash your hands very thoroughly and then put on gloves. And then you have to take a saline bag, which is kind of like an IV bag, and you have to set it up so that way you can grab the cartridge. Now the cartridge has all its tubing and it has the filter that the blood goes through to process or to clean the kidney or clean the blood that like the kidneys do. It's basically the artificial kidney. But this cartridge is about, I'd say 2.5 feet by 2 feet, like 2 feet tall.
So the size of a PS5.
A little bit bigger, a little bit bigger than a PS5. But it's much thinner than that. It's like it ain't that big of a deal. But you have to get the cartridge, and you have to take off all these little tabs on it, so that way you loosen up all the fucking tubing. Then you have to put the cartridge in the dialysis machine. Once that's in there, you have to make sure you have to check all these boxes in your head about where this is, where that is, make sure the machine's on, make sure that the tubing's over this way, make sure that the spike you put into the saline bag from the tubing is like on the thing as you close it, so that way this isn't trapped. And then you spike the saline bag, make sure all these clamps are clamped. And then once you have that done, you have to do all these checks again to make sure that the saline is properly going through this machine, so that way you can clean, whoever's blood is doing the thing. And then after all of that is said and done, you then have to wait like 30 minutes for the machine to basically be prepped, ready to go. Once you're done with that, and you get like the blood pressure of the patient, you get the temperature, you get all these other checks from them. and the machine is ready to go, you then get to prep the customer. Let me see the customer. You get to prep the person for the insertion of the needles. Now, because my dad's been doing this for so long, he has in his fistula, which is called like basically long and short of this that I want to tell people: don't fucking ruin your kidneys. Dialysis is the biggest pain in the dick. Because my dad had to have surgery and had this thing put in.
They put it in your dick.
Well, it's a pain in my dick because I want to say that. I had no joke there. I shot for the moon and missed horribly.
It's okay. The director of Moon made that fucking movie Mute, and he missed horribly too, and I gave it an F. Call back to way back.
Fucking no joke. Jesus. Okay, so when my dad had to start going, like getting prep for dialysis, he had a thing put into his forearm called a fistula, and it's basically this tube that connects to certain veins. What it does is it essentially creates two different pathways for the blood to go through. One called the venous and one called the ventricle. Not ventricle, I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to say penis.
But it's two pathways, right? So essentially there's a needle that goes into one and a needle goes into the other. One of the blood comes out, the other one the blood goes in. Make sense?
Yes. Well, I mean, you're filtering the blood. You got to pull it out and you got to put it back in after it's filtered.
Exactly. I like it. It's simple in concept and way more complicated in practice. So you have to make sure that the needle goes into the other one and whatever. But because my dad's been doing this for so long, he has what now is called buttonholes. The buttonholes are basically piercings into the fistula in his arm. And because the fistula is artificial, which sounds weird when I say that out loud, when we put a blunt needle into his arm, which is again like a piercing, so he can't feel it. However, it still scabs over, so you have to clean it. You have to take the fucking alcohol swab and you have to clean that for 30 seconds, and then you have to do the other one for 30 seconds, and then you take a second alcohol swab and you do the same thing for 30 seconds on both each one, and then you take this piece of gauze that's doused in a chemical called Accept, which is basically another cleaning agent, and you scrub one for 1 whole minute, whole 60 seconds. Then you let it dry for 2 minutes, and then you scrub the other one for 1 minute, and then let that dry for 2 seconds. Oh, you're not done. Now you got to pick the fucking scabs out of the buttonholes, which is disgusting. And then once all the scabbing is out of those 2 buttonholes, you then have to scrub you have to wipe for another minute with the thing and Accept, and then the other one for another minute and dry for 2 minutes. Dude, it is the most tedious fucking task. Then you put the needle in. You have to go from a 25-degree angle. Once you feel it past the fistula, which is a little pop feeling, like a little pop, you then lay it down and you slide it in. Then you tape it down, yada, yada, yada. Now you're not done. Because now what you have to do is you have to prep all the lines for the blood to go to the machine. But before you can do that, you have to put saline into his arm. It is a fucking, it is a tedious process. A thing about me, though, Maya, I'm a very quick learner. I did about 90% of it today on my own, without any help.
Well, that's good.
And I've only been doing this for 2 weeks?
2.5 weeks.
So, this is...
It's not 2 weeks, because you started on Wednesday, wasn't it?
I started on
a Monday.
No, I started on a Thursday.
Oh, okay, so 2 weeks tomorrow.
It was... the day before, it was April 20th. We started.
Yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you.
Everyone sounds like King Candy as a Jedi. May the 4th be with you. Anyway, so once everything's hooked up and everything's running, you have to monitor the blood pressures, right? You have to do all that. And there's 8 different fucking things you have to monitor in regards to that. Luckily, they have a tablet attached to the machine itself, so you can keep a track of all those numbers without having to write them down. But for the first 2 weeks, today was the first day that we had the iPad. Every other day was write it down. And the reason they had us write it down was if anything happens to the iPad, I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so now you have the patient hooked up to the machine. Everything's running. Everything is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every 30 minutes, you have to get blood pressure. Because obviously, if the blood pressure goes too high or too low, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So you have to do that. Now, the process takes 3.5 hours. At this point, you've probably been setting up for about 40 minutes. So now you have another 3.5 hours before the process is done. After the 3.5 hours is done, it's another 30-minute process unhooking everything, getting the blood back in the patient's system, making sure that their arm is bandaged correctly. The entire process from start to finish is about 5 hours long.
Yeesh.
And there's no speeding it up.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't the worst thing in the world. And, even though it is a pain in the ass right now, this is a benefit to my dad. One of the good benefits from doing home dialysis versus in a clinic is that we're doing it every day with like a day that we don't do it, like a day break. And he's going to feel better over time because it's less blood. It's less taxing on his heart. It's less taxing on his body. We can measure kind of how much we give today. It's a bunch of it, but we just have to go through this shit for like a month. Now, there's a couple different nurses that we interact with. Amy, I love her to death. She is awesome. She's been training us this whole time to how to use the machine and what to do, and she's fucking fantastic. Then there's Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Susan is a Filipino immigrant, and her accent is still pretty thick. She is the type of immigrant that she has to translate everything in her head before she says it out loud. I think you know who I'm talking, like what kind of people I'm talking about, right? Which is not
yeah. It's not a problem. It's not a bad thing. It's just it takes extra time, and if you're not very adept at hearing certain words and phrases in that accent, it can be very stressful, I guess. And when you're trying to learn a very important procedure like this, you know.
Yep.
But it's nothing that she can control, so you can't fault her for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. And well, the problem is that with her, she has to come into the room every day. She gives us this small stack of papers. Because remember that book I was talking about that was like way fucking intimidating?
Yeah.
Like back in the day. So what she's doing is she's giving us small little pieces of it at a time.
Okay.
Like 4 or 5 pages that we have to read and then do a test. The problem is my dad and I don't really learn super well from just reading. Like small bits here and there we can really absorb, but you give us a fucking page of text, that shit does not stick as well as I'd like it to.
Yeah. Well, you're more of a hands-on, learn by doing kind of person.
Oh yeah. She'll come in and she'll hand us that stuff. I know I said he. Yeah, she'll come in and hand us that, and she'll just be like, there you go. I'll come back in a little bit. And Dad and I are like, okay, we'll really try to do this. And she'll come back and she'll be like, okay, so what did we learn? And I'm like, the fuck if I know. She comes back and she'll sit there and be like, okay, let's read question number 1. So we'll read it and she'll go through it, and then like I'll say like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense because of this and this and this. And then she'll go, no, you don't understand. And then explain what the fuck I just said. It is infuriating.
Yeah. I can see how that would be frustrating as hell.
But it's. I know that I'm complaining, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. It's just a lot, It's a lot at one time,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Well,
on
and not
on
having
top.
any time off to yourself, not being able to just take a day, you
Yeah,
know? It's like,
yeah,
okay, I got to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I got dialysis. Tuesday, dialysis. Wednesday, dialysis. Thursday, dialysis. Work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then your household chores, your grocery store, fucking going and picking up prescriptions. It gets tiring
packing for this trip.
fast. Yeah, packing for
Uh,
the move. You're fuck.
yeah, and I've told you about dealing with my fucking boss.
Yeah, that guy's got fucking issues big time.
Oh my god. So, but the positive thing is that I was supposed to work only 4 hours tomorrow, which means I would not have gone to dialysis. And uh, I was gonna get a bunch of stuff done after work. My boss calls and says he's not taking this trip, which is why I was supposed to only go half day at work tomorrow, so I don't have to work tomorrow. Dad immediately says, "Oh, cool, you can come to dialysis with me." Like, immediately was like, ah. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't want to."
Yeah,
So we worked it out, but I'm not going to dialysis class tomorrow. I need this. I just had a fucking mental breakdown last night. I need a day.
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, humans aren't built to take on and put up with that much stuff without a break. They're just not. I mean, shit.
but on that note, I am doing better today, so that's a step in the right direction. I'm gonna do some laundry tomorrow. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I'm just gonna take a me day. I'm not gonna work too hard. I'm not gonna do too much. Like, I bought some fucking nachos for myself, so I'm gonna make those at some point. Like, it's gonna be nice.
Ooh, nachos. Now,
And then
I love nachos. When we make nachos here, it's a fucking event. It's not just like, oh, nachos. No. I mean, we make nachos. We make Mount Nachovius.
Oh, sorry. I got some just some nacho cheese. I was gonna get like jalapenos and sour cream, and maybe I have sour cream, but I just want some classic, disgusting fucking nachos. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, let me tell you how we do our nachos right fast. We take a round pizza pan and we put down a layer of chips. Then we sprinkle a little bit of cheese, and then we have this filling mixture that we make out of chorizo and diced green chilies and Mexican corn, like the ones with the peppers mixed in with it.
Yeah.
Uh, and sometimes we'll add chicken to it, but most of the time it's just chorizo. We spread out that meat mixture and then top it with jalapenos and then cheese and then another layer of chips and more little bit of cheese, more meat filling, more jalapenos, more cheese, more chips. We layer it up and tier it up and make each layer smaller so it kind of makes like a mound, right? And then we bake it for about 15 minutes, and then after we pull it out of the oven, we pour cascading nacho cheese sauce down the son of a bitch. Like a lava flowing, molten Mount Nachovius. And then, of course, top it with whatever we want. Like, take a big hunk, throw it on a fucking plate, throw some sour cream, some taco sauce, fucking whatever garnishes you want on there. Fucking good shit. We love nachos. Mm.
So be like, having really good nachos is more work than I'm willing to put in.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
You, the me day, you gotta. It's got to be as stress free as possible.
exactly.
And making an awesome pan of nachos does require some work.
Best nachos I ever had was actually at my buddy Andy's house. He smoked a whole brisket and then like
Oh yes.
for hours. Like it
Oh
was
yeah.
like all the fuck.
It takes like 14 hours to smoke a brisket.
Yeah, that was some of the best nachos. It's basically the same thing like you kind of said, except. Well, why don't we go ahead and get into our review? I want to apologize for our
Speaking
audience.
of
I
brisket,
fucking got the dates wrong. Oh yeah, fair enough. I was like, what? So last week, it completely went over my head. Last week when we did our show, I said that we were going to review Star Wars Visions Season 2. I got the date wrong. I thought it was last Friday. It's this Friday. Well, technically it's May 4th, but yeah, we're gonna review that next week. So all we have today is Marvelous Miss Maisel episode 5 of the last season. So that's all we got. But we're shoot the shit for a while, which we kind of have. Oh wow, 27 minutes. I thought we were doing longer. Oh, before we get into that, that's right. I wanted to talk about that. So, Fall Guys. Fall Guys is having a new season next Tuesday on the 10th. They had a big 30-minute long fucking video about what they're doing with this next season. And if you've played any Fall Guys at all in recent days, it's in kind of a sad, sorry state. Like, I love the game to death, but like it's having the same like handful of fucking same handful of maps over and over and over and over and over. And it's really frustrating because it's not super fun right now. Like, and a lot of the people that would normally play the game just aren't playing it. So with that in mind, like one of the biggest problems with the game is that the content was lacking significantly. Like it felt like we had these long stretches of drought between seasons or things that they were doing. And the way that they're going to remedy that is like they're going to have in the next however long, like 4 months, I think is what it is, this next season will be, they're going to have 3 different battle passes with 40 levels on each one. That'll come out over time.
How much are the battle passes?
Oh, 600 coins a piece, so $6 a piece.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be $20 a battle pass.
No. It would, like, previously it was only $10, but $6 is a lot more manageable at a month's given notice than $10. Anyway, I like this idea because it's going to allow us to want to come back to the game every month to check out what they got. Plus, the big thing they got coming this year, or this update, is the creator stuff to create your own maps. Some of the shit that they were showing during their little demo, their trailer, or whatever it was, has me so fucking excited for the most devious fucking maps these players are going to create. They did a thing where they took the DoorDash doors and laid them flat.
So you could fall through the floor.
Yeah, you have to. Like they made it so that way, like you have to find the right path through the floor. You can take those tables with the spinning with the bar on them.
Yeah.
You can make that as fast as it can go. Like you can make it super fast.
Ooh.
Like like they spent a solid 15 minutes on it, and the shit that I saw, I was like, I cannot fucking wait to see what people make. Like one of the things that we're going to be able to do is I can create a playlist essentially of new maps. But the thing that's really fucking cool is that they are going to take user-created maps and add them into main show, like tighten them up a bit and then add them into main show.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, so content is going to be insane for this. I can't wait, dude. It's going to be so much fucking fun. But that comes out Tuesday, and I'm also taking a me day for that as well.
You should.
They talked about a few other things in the thing, but like they have they didn't talk about it during the thing, but they definitely, like, we know of, because of leaks, we know of 3 upcoming collaborations. And I kind of sent you a text message, but the first one is going to be Hello Kitty. Then the next one is Tomb Raider. And the last one is Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Transformers is going to be really fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And how many costumes will you get?
They didn't say.
Well,
they did not specify. Because that's the thing.
I'd say your core 6, 3 top good guys, 3 top bad guys. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Grimlock for the fucking Autobots. Bad guys, yeah. Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave. I mean, those are like your iconic 6.
Well, you know, I was sitting there thinking, like, Mattel owns Transformers and
Hasbro.
Or Hasbro, sorry. No, it's Transformers and He-Man, right?
No, Mattel owns He-Man. Hasbro owns Transformers.
Well, because I was thinking with the He-Man collaboration, they were able to add He-Man, Tila, Skeletor, Orko,
Battle Cat.
Well, yeah, Battle Cat. I was gonna say I thought he was, but yeah, Battle Cat and then Prince Adam's hair.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a 6th. Hold on, I'm opening up my Fall Guys. Why is my controller over there? Oh, there it is. It'll be just a minute. I don't know why I'm doing that. I can look at my fucking phone. Sometimes I'm stupid.
It's because you're stressed, man.
Fall Guys. He-Man. Okay, well, yeah, it was He-Man, Tila, Orko, Battle Cat, and Skeletor, and then you could get Prince Adam's hair. That's what it was. Okay, so it was 5 plus the earned one. And so I'm sitting there thinking, like, it's going to depend on how many costumes or how many characters they add.
Yeah.
But it should, like, regardless, I'm excited about it. Like, there's... Oh, the other thing they talked about was having more maps in rotation than in the vault, whereas right now there's more maps in the vault than not.
Yeah.
And they were like, we know it's a hot thing of contention. And we're like, yeah, it fucking is, because the game's boring.
Yeah, if you're getting the same fucking maps over and over and over, that shit gets old fast.
Mm-hmm. It's like I said, it's not in a great state, so they know what they need to do. They just need to do it. And I think they've taken the past however many months it's been for fucking this new season to really work on it. But like, I'm worried, because if shit doesn't pop off as soon as this season starts, like servers work, the fucking created maps work, fucking there's a ton of maps in main show and squads and duos. Like, you don't give us that shit, game is gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited, optimistic, hopeful, and a little aroused. But, all right. Well, let's get into Marvelous Miss Maisel episode 5, shall we?
Sure. This episode was called The Pirate Queen. And it opens up with a flash forward to 1987, and we see Midge visiting Joel at a maximum security prison where he's been incarcerated for an unknown reason, but is somehow related to protecting her.
Was it a
Got
maximum security?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. I thought it was just a.
He will be released in 4 to 6 months. She brings a photo of their granddaughter Rose, who is named after Midge's deceased mother. Midge has she reveals she has a successful wig line, which Joel dislikes because it takes time away from her performing. I've got to assume that he's got a run in with fucking Frank and Nikki. I just see that happening. Anyway,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because it's leading to that for sure.
Back in 61, we see Joel and Archie inspecting a new club site, which happens to be an old Catholic school, church, combination of both. They want to turn it into a supper club, they say. Susie confronts film producer David Weston at a gay bathhouse after he ignores calls regarding her client James. Gordon Ford resists having Diddy Doo Diaper Cream as a show sponsor. Midge, the entertainment for the Diddy Doo party cruise, charms the crowd, but the evening ends disastrously after she is arrested for supposedly assaulting an executive when the guy was actually, coming on too strong to a waitress, and Midge intervened and then was fucking around with the dude. And hilarious scene, actually. When Gordon's producer calls an emergency meeting, Gordon dismisses the incident, wanting it smoothed over. Everyone's shocked that Zelda will no longer be working after marrying Janusz. Joe argues with Midge about Susie's mob connections, which ultimately reinforces their mutual feelings. After Gordon attends Midge's nightclub act, she politely declines his repeated offer for an affair. So, yeah, that scene on the boat when she's messing with the dude's jacket, and she's like, "Oh, you don't like it when somebody touches something that's yours? You don't like that, huh?" And then trying to throw it around her fucking self, and then the wind catches it and goes over. And the whole fact that they were in international waters so they can charge her with piracy, and the pirate jokes that came about, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I love that Gordon Ford is like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever been called in for.
Yeah.
I really like his character. I like his character a fucking lot.
I do too. Even though he's got he's there's something unlikable about him, but there's more likability than not.
Yeah. Well, I think that's. Oh, sorry. I think that's the thing about this season that's been so fascinating is like, hey, real quick, audience, you've been rooting for Midge this whole time. Show business people are kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like it's what I love about these opening bits that we've had so far. It shows that Midge has become kind of awful, and I love it. I love that she's just become kind of bad, like annoying. I don't know. I'm excited. I really hope that we get kind of a conclusion before the final couple episodes, and then like the final couple episodes are in the future.
Ooh, that would be cool. Or at least the final episode, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with like what the show is doing, and
I'm enjoying it. Seeing Abe and Rose trying to learn how a vacuum cleaner works was
so
fucking hilarious.
Oh, I think I almost sent you a text that said, whoever decided to let us in on this Jewish, thank you, Zelda, for inviting only the Jewish families.
yeah, that wedding.
God, that shit was hilarious. Like, shh, you're making everyone think that us Jews are loud and obnoxious. Oh shit, so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other things in the episode that were like stand out. Like it what's so interesting to me is that right now, whenever we're in the past, whenever we're in 1961, everything that Midge does, you're like, yay, Midge. But every time they show her in the future, you're like, what a bitch. But her personality didn't change. You know what I mean?
No, no, her personality didn't change. Something's changed, though. What is it?
I think we know that she's successful in the future. We know that she's won, right? And her attitude right now with kind of not being there and being poor and trying to still climb that ladder, we're rooting for her to climb that ladder. And maybe that's the point of the show is like, hey, just so you know, that personality trait that you love may not work when someone is successful. And I think that's it's getting us to kind of look at it from that perspective.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like you'll root for someone who's kind of a bitch while fighting to get to the top. But the second that they're at the top and they're still a bitch, you're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, I get you had to scrap and claw and fight your way tooth and nail there, but can't you show some gratitude and appreciation once you're there and when they don't? Yeah.
I love it. I love it because that's something to me that makes a good protagonist is flawed vulnerability.
It's like, where's your humility?
Yeah. And it's like she's hiding that while not having the success. And she's still hiding it while having the success. And so it's this weird perspective where you're like, you can't do it this way and have it this way. Our mind, our empathetic mind doesn't want that. Like we know that she's pushed her kids away. Why? Oh, because she was already doing it when she was younger. We just didn't notice it because we were like, yeah, you get that spot on that stage. Yeah, Susie, you fucking get that for her. Because we've been rooting for her since fucking season 1. Oh, I love it. It's so brilliant. It's simple, but brilliant at the same time. Well done, writers. Fuck, I love this show. I'm glad. Wasn't it you that turned me on to it to watch the... Yeah, because I had to watch all of season 1. That's right. It feels so fucking long ago that we did that too.
Well, I mean, we've been doing this show for over 5 years now. I mean, fuck. Today's May the 3rd. 2 weeks from today is the day that I lost my leg 5 years ago.
5? It's been 5 years since you lost your leg.
5.
God, I still remember when I got the call from you while I was in Walmart with my groceries and I couldn't talk to you because I had no reception. And I was like rushing to get outside to the car to finally get a hold of you.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Because I hadn't heard from you for like a month and a half.
It was like 4 days.
No, it was way longer than that.
No. I went to the hospital on the 17th. That's when I said, hey, I feel like shit. I've got to go to the ER. We were supposed to record. That was when we were still bi-weekly. So the next week we were supposed to record The New Legend of Monkey Paw, which I watched it and I couldn't fucking stand it. And I was like, I really don't want to review this, but I didn't have to go to the links to get out of recording that to get my leg cut off.
All I'm going to say, man,
but we did record or it was the first season of Cobra Kai right after that. But also the right after that was the second interview we did with Brian Volkweis. So I went in on the 17th and I got out on the 26th. But yeah, it was like the Sunday night or Monday. I went in on a Thursday and it was like Sunday before we told anybody what was going on. But I know it felt like a long time.
It honestly, it felt like 2 weeks. I remember being 2 weeks, but I don't know. It might have been much shorter than that. We can't go back that far anyway. It doesn't matter. But I was worried fucking sick. I was like, I hadn't heard from you continuously. I was like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, we didn't tell anybody because nobody knew if I was going to live through the weekend.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was.
Yeah, I know. I think I was the last person you spoke to outside of anybody before you went to the hospital, because I remember telling you call an ambulance.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm in bad shape. Really bad shape. And then the ambulance that they sent, they're like, we have to take you to this hospital, and you don't want that hospital, and you need a different hospital. And honestly, you need it quicker. And I was like, oh, yeah, is it that bad? They said, yeah, you don't realize how bad a shape you're in right now. I was like, oh, okay. And then the guys that they ended up sending from another county, little 5'3" motherfucker and the fucking 6'10" motherfucker, trying to fucking carry me out on a stair chair, and the little bastard was in the front, and they kept dropping me. They dropped me 5 times, getting me out of the house to the fucking ambulance.
It was really funny because of the stories. Oh shit!
What?
I started because I couldn't hear you because of StreamYard. I thought you stopped talking, so I started telling a story, and then all of a sudden you started coming back, and I was like, God damn it!
Sounds like I wasn't saying anything. No. But yeah, well, 5 years. Hey, this is episode 249. Next week is episode 250. Holy shit.
Jesus. Yeah.
And if things hadn't been so stressful, we could have planned for something for that episode. You know, it's a pretty big deal, pretty big milestone.
Yeah, and we won't hit 300 for a couple of years, so.
Well,
who knows where our lives will be at that point.
Yeah. 52 weeks in a year. If episode 250, then about a year from now, it'd be episode 300.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why my math was off on that, but well, what I was going to say was that one of the problems I have with the woman that's teaching us, the woman that speaks that's Filipino, is we were talking about why it's so important to clean the injection sites and to make sure that everything's sterile because of an infection and yada yada yada. And I was like, yeah, my friend went through she had her leg. Or bottom part of her leg amputated because of this, and she's like, well, you have to understand, and then explained the whole fucking thing again. And I'm like, did what I say not compute? The fuck?
Yeah.
It's shit like that daily. Like I told Dad, I was like, you just have to let her talk. Just say, like, if you understand it, say I understand it. If you don't, you say, please explain that again. Anyway,
say yes, Seth, I fucking understand.
But yeah,
there's a From Dusk Till Dawn quote.
But yeah, it's no, this show, we've been watching this show for a long fucking time. So I'm it's kind of bittersweet, you know. We got to be there, you know, towards the beginning of it coming out, and now we get to watch it finish, and we're still talking about it. It's great. But well, why don't we go ahead and grade it? And I got off topic there talking about. Let's go ahead and give a grade to the episode, and then we'll move on. I'll just kind of tip it off. A. I'm just going to give it an A. It's a solid episode. It does nothing inherently too special or extraordinary, but it's very entertaining from front to back, and it advances just about everyone's story. So, it's good. Very good episode. What about you?
I also would give it an A. It was very well done. Really curious to see what led up to Joel being put in the fucking prison. I've got a suspicion it's got to deal with an encounter with Frank and Nikki.
How long was he in prison prior to us seeing him then? Didn't they say 15
Well,
years?
they didn't say.
I thought, yeah, I wasn't sure.
They didn't say. So he could be in there for 25, 26 years. I mean, he could probably be in there. Like, we may see him do something in the 60s, in 61, that may send him to prison that late in 87. But I don't know. That's just speculation, of course. But I'm sure it was something significant. Well, it has to be to go to fucking prison, right?
Yeah. Like, yeah. And you're 100% right. It has to do with the mob. It has to do with those two guys. But to what degree, who knows? But it was definitely something, like, I feel like whatever he did was definitely what kind of caused the split between Susie and Midge.
No, I think that comes later.
Oh, I'm not saying that I'm saying it's involved somehow.
Maybe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying how it's been playing out.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
But I'm pretty sure that, for anybody that was hoping that maybe May and Joel got back together, I'm pretty sure that was her send off in that episode when she was in his apartment after the Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. I agree. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up because I want to go watch Ted Lasso.
Okay.
So that's gonna do it for this week, everybody. Next week we got episode 6 of season 5 of Marvelous Miss Maisel. We're gonna watch the show until it ends because it's been great so far. And definitely, as of recording this, tomorrow on May 4th, because May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Visions Season 2 or Volume 2 comes out, which is it's a great concept. Like, give artists full reign to do whatever they want with Star Wars IP stuff. So, like, tell a samurai story, but they all have lightsabers or something to that effect. Like, it's wild. Like, if you haven't watched Volume 1, watch Volume 2. If you've watched Love, Death, and Robots with us, it's basically that, but Star Wars. Yeah. That's the best way I'm gonna say it. It's Love, Death, and Robots, but Star Wars. But yeah, we get more of it tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. So we'll review that. And who knows? I don't know when, but maybe we could talk about what's that movie called? Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Well, that's only
we're gonna watch Volume 3. I don't know. I'm gonna.
Yeah, you've already got tickets for it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go or not.
I'll let you know if it's any good. It should be. It's fucking James Gunn. But then again, you didn't like the Suicide Squad, so.
But I love Guardians 1 and Guardians 2.
Did you ever, I think we've talked about this, but did you ever end up seeing his other movies, Super and Slither?
Nope.
I think you would really like Slither. Super, I don't know. That one's a bit of an oddball, but I fucking love it. Anyway, getting distracted here. Guys, make sure you follow us on all socials listed down below. If we do add anything or change something, I should have made a note. Look, I say this every week, and I'm usually busy and forget. That is more paramount now than has ever been before. So follow us on the social medias. If we add anything, we will try our damnedest to let you know. Hopefully, we probably won't, but that's where that would be. All those are going to be listed down below. Also listed down below is our Teespring store. Every time you buy something from there, it goes right into the podcast, paying for whatever we need to pay the bills that keeps this podcast running. Right now they got a bunch of summer gear over there, like tank tops and t-shirts. And if somebody goes, "Hey, what the fuck is that on your shirt?" You can point them to our direction, and maybe they really like couple weirdos reviewing shows on streaming platforms. Who knows? Helps us out greatly, and you get a shirt out of it. There's also a discount code, which anybody who makes it to this point of the podcast will get. It is AQU15 at checkout, which will save you 15% off, which is basically shipping and handling. So, but that's AQU15 at checkout. Put in the apply spot, hit buy or purchase, or what the fuck it is.
From your cart. It's just AQU15, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, AQU1515. Sorry, it was. But yeah, that's it for my notes. The
way you were saying it, I was like, the whole code doesn't have at checkout in it. It just sounded like you were saying AQU15 at checkout. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm trying to say it like the fucking YouTube channels I watch. So
yeah. Anyway, people can
find folks me.
You can find me on Facebook under my name, Maya Dawn Fisher. It's a public profile, and it's linked to my Twitter and Instagram accounts. It's your one-stop shop for everything that I'm up to. What about you, Greg? Where can people find you?
You can follow me under Chubruck under all socials, which I haven't been uploading a whole lot, but there, if you listen to the beginning of this podcast, you know why. Shit is wild in my life right now.
And not in the way that he wants it to be wild.
No shit. It is busy. But yeah, so that's it. Follow Chubruck Geek and follow me. I try to make clips and stuff of games I play, but yeah, whatever. That's it, everybody. That's it, and that's all. I accidentally closed my notes. And I know that there's something else I say right before that. I say, where is it? I go, hey guys, thank you so much for listening. Always remember, fuck the GOP, fuck the NRA. Donate and help where you can. There's people hurting out there. You can lend a hand somehow, some way. Please do it. People are hurting. Shit sucks right now in this goddamn country. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.